4 late round running backs that you need to grab in your fantasy football drafts. Let's get it, baby. What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Tap. My name is Michael, and this is John. John, how are you doing today? You ready to talk some late round running backs?
Yeah, let's talk about the league winners, the guys that you never expected to really play regularly, but then they end up being a top 12 running back on the year. So let
Oh,
me tell you who those guys are going to be.
I don't know about that. I mean,
It happens every year.
yes, true. I know you got a really good one that you like,
I like
and I
both of them.
agree
They're
with
both
you.
good.
My guys, I will just say this: my guys are more for one's a handcuff, a solid handcuff, and the other is going to be a solid flex option for you. And as late as you're getting them, it's a no brainer to me. So, but anyways, John, you want me to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
All
Let's see
right,
who you got.
let's do this. First off is going to be Khalil Herbert of the Chicago Bears. Yes. Does that mean I think that David Montgomery, it's going to be a committee backfield or whatever? No, not at all. It's going to be David Montgomery's backfield. However, if he gets hurt, if he misses time, I love Khalil Herbert. Last year, 4 games that David Montgomery was out, weeks 5 through 8. Khalil Herbert put up double-digit points in each of those weeks. 2 of those had a top 12 finish. So he's going to get the carries in an offense that, I mean, they're gonna have to run the ball, and they're gonna have to use their backs. You know, that's why I think David Montgomery's gonna have a great year. Love where he's going in the draft as well. But I want that handcuff. I want Khalil Herbert as a handcuff, because if David Montgomery goes down, it's gonna be the Khalil Herbert show. He showed he can do it. And I like grabbing him. He is going at the I just lost it. He's going as the RB50, ADP of 161.9. So pretty much your last pick.
Yeah.
Or close
And
to
so
it.
if you look back to him playing last year and those 4 games that he actually did take over, and he was actually playing extremely well on that 4-game stretch.
Yep.
It's against some of the tougher defenses in the league. You've got Las Vegas, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, and San Francisco there. And he was putting up 72 plus yards in every single game while getting some games with some receiving work.
Yep.
You really can't ask for much more. And yeah, like you're saying, we're not expecting David Montgomery to fall apart or anything like that. But if he does, this is a cheap pick that will definitely take care of your roster while David Montgomery's either banged up or something else.
Yeah, I love grabbing him late. Any way I can, because that offense is going to run through their running backs. It's going to have to. So, anyways, John, who's your first guy?
All right, let's talk about another guy where he might be a handcuff, because if the guy in front of him does go down, then he will see an incredible workload. And he might be the lead running back at the team once the league gets started this year. That's going to be Ramondre Stevenson. You can currently grab him in the 10th round, maybe the 11th, and if you're lucky, the 12th. But, see where he falls. And I do think that you're looking at the best running back in the New England Patriots backfield currently. He is nothing but a workhorse, an absolute monster that runs with anger and looks like I already said monster, so I can't say that again, but looks like an absolute titan when he runs down there. He almost was 3rd in the league when runs after or yards after contact per attempt. And you can see it. You saw it during the preseason where he was averaging almost 100 yards a game with multiple touchdowns. You saw him have 3 games over 90 yards this season. He is a stud. I do think he's better than Damian Harris, who did get pulled out of the game against Buffalo in the wild card game, or not the wild card game this year. No wild card. Wild card.
Yeah, it was a
Game?
wild card. Yeah, well.
Okay, yeah. Just making sure I'm not crazy here. In the wild card game. So I do think that we already see a lead into him taking over that backfield. And they are very run heavy with Mac Jones being a terrible quarterback. So they're going to have to take care of Ramondre. And he's going to be a stud. I think he does have low end running back 1 upside, because he's going to be eating into that touchdown share, especially in the red zone. Brandon Bolden's going to be gone. So there's no other big hefty back there, because Damian Harris he's solid, but he's not great.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think at least to begin the season, it'll be Damian Harris, but I do think eventually we'll see, kind of like when Sony Michel was the lead back and Damian Harris started to take over for Sony Michel. And I think it's going to be a similar situation here next. So I think down the road, he's going to pay off big time for you. I love getting Ramondre in drafts this year. He's going to be one of my guys. Actually posted a few TikToks on him.
There you go.
Because I like him. So yeah, no, I love that pick. Love that pick. So anyways, my next guy is going to be a flex option for you. You're going to catch the ball a fair share this year, and that's going to be J.D. McKissic coming out of the Washington Commanders. They don't trust Antonio Gibson. There's already been rumors of Brian Patterson and, him being a committee backfield. And I think J.D. McKissic is just going to get the pass catching work. I mean, looking at Nyheim Hines last year, it was very up and down, but when he boomed, it was great getting that same quarterback. And obviously, Antonio Gibson is not Jonathan Taylor. So Antonio Gibson is not going to be on the field as much. Last year, I think Antonio Gibson had like 570 snaps to J.D. McKissic's 328. I think we're going to see a lot closer number for J.D. McKissic and Antonio Gibson, and it's going to go to a running back by committee. J.D. McKissic is definitely the better pass catcher. So I think that we see tons of flexible weeks from J.D. McKissic, without Antonio Gibson going down. So I will take that shot on J.D. McKissic. And you're getting him even later than you're getting Khalil Herbert. You're getting him as the RB54 running back 182. Or I mean, sorry, not running back 182. Running back 54. ADP of 182. Yeah, 182, right?
Hey, I take him at running back 182 all day.
Yeah, right.
So all right, sorry.
No, yeah. So I'm taking J.D. McKissic.
Yeah, especially in any sort of past PPR or half point PPR league, you know what he's going to be getting. He's going to be getting 3 to 4 catches per game that could turn into 7 or 8 on a huge one with some rushing upside. So I think that's a great one. And like you're saying, if we do see Antonio Gibson go down, if Brian Robinson's not the guy and he's not ready to take over a huge share of that backfield, you could see a 50-50 split while McKissic also does get some of that pass catching work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's jump into my last guy here. And we've got someone that I hyped up 2 years ago. It almost worked out. I didn't like him last year. So I'm back on the train now. It's Rojo time, baby. Let's go.
Choo-choo.
All right. So we all saw that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was the most overhyped running back to come out of the draft in the past 3 years. I think that he is talented, but he just isn't able to handle it at the NFL level. And we saw it last year with Darrell Williams taking over the largest share of the red zone carries, especially as you got closer into the 5 and inside the 10. Now, this did come due to some injuries to CEH, but efficiency matters, and CEH was very inefficient. Now, we do have Darrell Williams gone and Ronald Jones taken over in that backfield. And if we have 44 of those red zone carries going to Ronald Jones, we can expect better than a roughly 30% touchdown percentage inside the 10, as Ronald Jones has been averaging about 44.5 inside that number. And in his second season, when he was carrying that Tampa Bay running back group, he was at 100% inside the 10 or inside the 5. The man is a cannonball. He is very elusive as well. And I think he was brought into Kansas City because he's very young. He does have a little bit of, there's some tread on those tires.
Yeah.
Man's going to be doing absolutely fine. And the biggest thing that CEH cannot do is run the ball in the red zone for the touchdowns. Yeah. Now, we saw last year what the Arizona Cardinals did with Chase Edmonds and James Conner. James Conner was the one that got all the touchdowns. Plain and simple. Yeah. And if Ronald Jones can get 12 touchdowns this year just due to being the ball carrier, you're looking at a running back 1. So I think that you're taking a shot on someone that you can consider a handcuff again. You can consider him a third down back, red zone back, short back, yardage. Sure. He can do it all. And you're getting him at incredible value. Again, this is another guy that's going around between the 10th and 11th round. And if I look correctly, his current ADP has him at running back 41 going in the 11th round, the beginning of the 11th. So.
Yeah, I love that pick. And, I mean, one reason why CEH was so hyped up was because of the landing spot. And I could definitely see a situation where CEH just does not pan out. Rojo is the best back, or proves that he is the best back on this team, and takes a bulk of the carries and snaps in general. But especially around that goal line, especially getting touchdowns, he's going to get in the end zone quite a bit this year. So I do like taking him there. So, John, I have one more. Just want to do an honorable mention real quick. Another guy if we go through and talk, like if we were to go through a bunch of these guys, I'm pretty sure we have talking points on all of them. I mean, there's a lot of guys I like, later on, because there's always going to be, a couple that show up, like you said. But one that I really like is going at RB 55. So just behind JD McKissic, and that's going to be Marlon Mack. I think that he's going to be in a position, to start, and reports are already coming out that he may start the year off as the team's running back one. And I mean, he's never been bad. I mean, if you look at his yards per carry, especially in 2018, 2019, he was averaging over 4.4 or higher yards per carry in those 2 big years where he had the bulk of the touches. So he's not a bad running back. It's just he's not Jonathan Taylor. So I think that this is a good position. He could really carve out a solid role for himself. And I mean, getting him so late, Dameon Pierce is going at RB 40, and you're getting potentially the starter for the team 15 running backs later. So I like Marlon Mack this year, just as an honorable mention.
Oh, that honorable mention, I'd have to agree with it. I mean, going back to 2019, he had over 1,000 yards. He had 900 the year before that, and over 8 touchdowns in both those years. And you hit the nail on the head. The guy got injured at the beginning of 2020, gave Jonathan Taylor an early access into that RB1 spot. And Jonathan Taylor is one of the best running backs in the league. Yeah. And it's hard to argue against that. So Marlon Mack just had to pick up and move on. Yep. And he landed in an incredible spot, a place with not much competition, not an incredible quarterback that's going to be airing the ball out every single play, and should be in a lot of situations where he's going to be in there for the short yardage. And again, those touchdowns. I mean, he's almost hit 10 twice in his career, and he hasn't held more than 50% of the back, or more than like 65% of the backfield. He's always had some competition with them.
Yeah. So anyways, guys, that is it. Those are 5 actually running backs that you can grab late in your drafts. So yeah, anyways, hit us up on TikTok, follow us, all that stuff. Let us know if there's anybody you think we missed, anybody we should have talked about maybe. I mean, like I said, there are a slew of guys that I know John and I both like, later in the rounds. But these are a couple guys we want to talk about. So anyways, thanks guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, John, for doing this show with me.
Always.
All righty, guys. We'll see you later.